Patient Jennifer Endes damaged her upper centrals in an accident as a child. The dentist did what he could to repair her teeth, but the damage left both teeth severely discolored. She wore braces to straighten the alignment of her smile, but the obvious discoloration lingered. Her intraoral evaluation concluded adequate candidacy for the procedure, with normal temporomandibular condition, no traumatic incisal relationships, and a good standing of periodontal health. Determined by the width of her smile, Jennifer's treatment plan included the placement of 10 lumineers from bicuspid to bicuspid. She chose Ultrabond Plus Blockout Shade B0, and no cosmetic contouring was necessary. Jennifer is now ready for her new Lumineer smile.
So before we get started, she has everything prepared, because once we start, we don't want to fool around looking for something. So she's also pre-treated the porcelain with 2 solutions, and she's used an organic acid, citric acid, and the Serenade Prime is an inactive silane, and you want to activate it just before you use it. Now I'm going to put some Pain On Dental Dam on the lingual side, and every place I put Pain On Dental Dam, I'm using the blue, Ultrabond won't be able to bond to it. And we take a 3-second burst, and I keep the light about an inch from the surface. Close your eyes. And see how that blue is all around the lingual side? So when we start cleaning up, you'll see that'll make quite a difference. I'm putting on Etch and Seal. Etch and Seal is phosphoric acid, medium viscosity, and that way I can push it around with the brush and control where I want it placed. And it contains aluminum oxalate. And the reason it has aluminum oxalate is because the oxalate will seal the dental tubule. And then the next step is we're going to put Tenure AB on this. And the reason I use Tenure AB, we worked with it and got it down to 2 bottles, 1 step. And the significance of that is that some systems out there won't bond to self-cured systems. And Ultrabond is light cured, and it has a little kicker in there for self-curing if you don't get enough light to the Ultrabond. Now I'm going to take some Tenure S on a SCUBY, and the other reason I'm using the Tenure S is a race begins between surface preparation and contamination. Whatever gets there first wins the race. We're using Blockout instead of the traditional Ultrabond because it will take shade discrepancies between teeth of up to 3 shades and make them blend. So we're going to put on 8 veneers on her in approximately 1 minute. We're going to have them all set. Left central. Right central. Okay. Right lateral. And we just seat these gently to place. Right cuspid. Then we'll switch over to the left side right at this point. Oh, you've got about 10 minutes before things start setting. But if you've got Tenure S on there, you may only have 5 minutes. These all have incisals wrapped over them. And then if I don't want to have them wrapped, I can take them off. I'm not in a hurry, but I'm not wasting any time. And close your eyes for 1 second. Put it in the center part of the tooth. Close your eyes. Now remember, I put this cuspid in here, but I'm not going to touch that cuspid because I don't want to have that contact get polymerized inadvertently. Close your eyes. Okay, now we got to get over here. These seat very nicely if you're putting the resin in and it just flows. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. And close your eyes. Now I'm taking off the excess on the lingual side. Close your eyes. So we go on each tooth for 5 seconds. And if you multiply 5 times 10, that's 50 seconds. Now the advantage to this is that the less time I have to protect this from being moist or being contaminated, the better. So I want to get in and get out. Close your eyes. And I don't cure on the lingual side, I just cure on the labial side. Close your eyes. And I'm going to use a Sure 349. That's why having the Pain on Dental Dam, the blue area, we're just going to start lifting that off. There we go. Look how nice it looks around that gingival tissue. Now I got to do cleanup work. I'm using a football-shaped diamond. All of these are in the Clinician's Finishing Kit. And I'm blending the Ultrabond and the porcelain and the tooth together. They're one solid homogeneous mass from now on. Why did I use blockout on all the teeth? And I did that so they'll all have the same shade. So now we're about 80% finished on the lingual side. And then we'll take the 12-fluted burr to remove the Ultrabond. I just come back in with my magnification, and I can tell you the visibility and what I'm looking at, it's like, I don't know if any of you have ever done any scuba diving, but if you try to look at something under the water, and then you dive in and you've got your face mask on, everything looks different and much clearer. And I just define these interproximals. Now I'm going to go back with my Sure 349, and I'm just going to scrape off the Ultrabond blockout. You will never scratch the glaze on a luminaire with the Sure 349. Now we're going to take the needle nose diamond and we're going to start defining the interproximals. One of the things you want to look out for is that black triangle, so I don't do too much finishing if patients have embrasures where they might have the black triangle. And you don't have to do it all today, do you? You're going to have the patient back next week. Now we're going to take this long, narrow diamond. Now I'm just going around here, getting those interproximal embrasures, because you're probably wondering how we open those contacts, right? From the interproximals, because if you have trouble opening the contacts, it's probably because you have too much Ultrabond left in there, and then you just stop and go back and remove it. Now here I've got a little Ultrabond in here that I had missed, and I'll go back to the football-shaped diamond, and we do the final finishing on your next recall visit, or follow-up visit I guess is better. Now before we open the contacts, let's check the occlusion. And close. Gently grind your teeth around, forward and back. Look at all of her spots. She's closed and centric. Natural tooth, natural tooth, natural tooth. But look right here. You see this distal, that lateral? That lower cuspid of hers is going to want to go forward and knock off the distal of the lateral. We've got it over here on this tooth as well, on the right lateral. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take off the distal of it and the mesial of the cuspid. So I just take that off like that. Now we're going to open the contacts. This is called a seri saw. All right, now I'm sawing and it stops. So don't keep sawing with pressure. If you're sawing and you run into pressure, stop and start rocking. And keep a lot of control with finger rest. Okay, now I'm just going through this next tooth, a little controlled pressure. That one just sawed through. See how these open so easy? But it's only because I got the Ultrabond out. Now we're going to take the seri sander. Now I use a seri sander because you got rough edges. Just because you saw through the contact, you still have some Ultrabond in there. And when you frost through, you want it to go through relatively smooth. And let's see what her response is after getting 10 porcelain veneers. Is it everything you hoped it would be?
And more.
And more, okay.
Many years ago, I was 6, I had a wreck on my bicycle, and injured my front teeth. And so for many years I've had stained teeth, and people would ask me, what's wrong with your teeth? Why don't you have something done about them? And I wanted to have a nice smile. I had braces and got them straightened, but they just had a bad look to them. When I found out Lumineers, and I thought I can have this great smile, still have my natural teeth underneath the very thin Lumineer, and have a nice bright white smile, I was hooked. The process to get my Lumineers was very simple, much easier than I thought. I had my impressions taken. I think that took maybe 10 minutes max. A couple weeks later, we tried my Lumineers on. It was amazing just to see them. And then had my appointment, picked the color, and had them placed. And people were surprised. They looked at them, oh my gosh, did you bleach your teeth? What have you done? It looks great. You look so different. And it was just, it took less than an hour to put them on. And it made a total change in my whole appearance. People I've known for years were amazed at what a difference it made. Oh, I think Lumineers are definitely for anybody. Anybody could benefit from Lumineers.